It's a wonderful Wednesday evening here in the city of Lagos. Hello and welcome once again to Game On, the show that brings you all the latest, hottest sports news from across Nigeria, Africa, and indeed the world. My name is Babatunde Koiki. Thank you again for joining us as together with my team here, we bring you all the latest breaking sports news. Don't forget, you can join us using our streaming app that's on YouTube because we're streaming live. It means you can watch us anywhere in the world. And also, of course, you can also join the conversation using our social media handles, X, Facebook, and Instagram. Welcome once again. Of course, later on in the show and subsequent shows, we'll assure you that we'll give you the chance to call live onto the show and give us your thoughts about some of the topics that we'll be talking about. I'm not alone tonight. It's a two-man show because the one and only Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu, I love that name. Very mouthy, very heavy name. Onyenwuchi Nwachukwu. He is the deputy editor of Sporting Life, one of Nigeria's finest publications. Thank you so much for joining us, Onye.
Thanks for having me.
It's always a pleasure having you on the show because you bring a certain wisdom, a certain twist on all the show, on all the topics that we always discuss. So trust me, I say personally that I always enjoy having you on the show. But let's start very quickly tonight. We have a very interesting guest joining us all the way from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Some breaking news out of Cameroon today. Rigobert Song, former captain of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, has been relieved of his job. And one man to help us break down everything that has happened so far is Simon Lyonga. Simon Lyonga is the sports editor of Cameroon Radio and TV. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show, Simon.
Hello, Baba. How are you? Welcome to Cameroon. And,
you welcome to Nigeria.
I don't want to bite my tongue to pronounce the name of your co-panelist, Nwachukwu. I think I'll end there.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much, Simon. So tell us what happened today. But to be honest, you did call this a few weeks ago during the AFCON Cup of Nations that we might see the end of the road for Rigobert Song, and that has happened. So what led to the Minister of Youth and Sport in Cameroon pulling the trigger on Rigobert Song's time as the coach of the Indomitable Lions?
Yes, we have to first of all know that Rigobert Song contract was supposed to end today because the contract he signed with the FA ran right up to the 28th of February. And so people were afraid to maybe terminate his contract before the 28th, not to go back to the problems that we had with our former coach, Toni Conceicao, whose contract was terminated, and he took Cameroon to court. And today he is claiming over 1 billion CFA francs, that is close to 1,000 euros, or let's say, 100,000 euros from Cameroon. So they wanted the contract of Rigobert Song to end. Then there was a dramatic show yesterday at the Prime Minister's office out here in Cameroon, during which Rigobert Song, Samuel Eto'o, and other top FA officials and officials of the national team were convened. And one of the resolutions that came out, even though it is not official, we have sources who were present and who told us that the government of Cameroon has decided to withdraw the administrative management of the national team from Fecafoot and taking it back to the government. This is because there have been so many problems. The president of Fecafoot always at loggerheads with the Minister of Sports. No respect.
Simon, sorry, Simon, let me stop you here. If I do get you correctly, you're basically saying that the government of Cameroon have withdrawn administrative powers from Fecafoot and taken it back to the government. Isn't that, doesn't that constitute government interference under FIFA statutes? That means that Cameroon could likely face a ban.
There is a thin line between interference and intervention. There is interference from the government. I like you, my friend. Yes, there is interference from the government, which is not accepted by FIFA. We all know that. Okay. But there is also intervention by government, which is accepted by FIFA. Because FIFA knows that, especially in Africa, most of the national teams are controlled by the countries, because it's the countries or the governments that pay appearance fees, they pay bonuses to players, they pay bonuses, yes. For Cameroon, for example, Rigobert Song was paid by the government. It's the government that pays Rigobert Song's benefits and salaries. So the government has a say in all what is going on with the national team. Remember, before we went to Qatar for the World Cup, it's the government that gave money for the team to prepare before the FIFA money comes, and it's the government that produces money for bonuses of players. Same with what happens in Cote d'Ivoire. Unfortunately, the two partners have been at loggerheads. There has been trouble between Fecafoot and the government of Cameroon. So yesterday they called the FA officials at the level of the Prime Minister's office of Cameroon, and they told them, hey, gentlemen, we are going to withdraw administrative management of the team from you. And that is exactly what happened. So today, immediately the minister published his decision because he sent a couple of letters to the coach, the assistant coaches, the goalkeeper trainer, the physiotherapist, the video analyst. They sent a couple of letters to all of them, telling them that their contract will not be renewed. That is a very polite way of saying you have been sacked.
Clean sweep of yes,
the entire. It was a clean sweep. So, immediately after that, the FA also sent a press release to us saying that they have fired the coach and they have fired all members of the technical staff. So you see, the war still continues, but we know the FA is trying to save face because we all saw it coming from afar that Rigobert Song was going to be sacked. Not only because of the poor results, but because he has been a poor performer since. Remember, he played 23 games for Cameroon. He won just 6 matches.
Wow.
And amongst the games that he has been winning, Rigobert Song has never won a match against any of the first 10 teams on the pecking order in Africa, except the game in Blida against Algeria that qualified Cameroon for the World Cup. And there, people are saying it is because he played with a team led by Conceicao, because that match was played just a few days after he was brought in and Conceicao was fired. But since he came in, he has been winning games against Burundi. I have nothing against those countries, but when it comes to football, those are minors in Africa. So he's been winning games against Burundi, against teams like the Mauritius Island. But whenever it comes to big games, he has always been absent.
Big games like Nigeria. I'm just saying. but Simon, there are those who say that now that Rigobert has gone, that Samuel Eto'o should follow suit, since he was the FA president who hired him, and also Cameroon hasn't done well under his stewardship, that he should also resign as well. But I do recall he offered to resign, asked the entire FA board to join him in resigning, but they refused his resignation and stayed in place. So what happens now?
Everybody knows in Cameroon that was a smokescreen. You cannot come back from an AFCON. All serious countries that came out from the AFCON have held executive committee meetings to look at where they faltered and where they worked well. Our own came back from AFCON only for Samuel Eto'o to say, okay, I want to resign, and the executive committee members refused that I should not resign. And mind you, if Samuel Eto'o said, I want to resign, they would have let him go. But when he discovered that they were about letting him go, what did he do? He told the executive committee members that you should not forget that as I am going, all of you will have to also resign. So I'm going to make public a decision to say I've resigned, and all of you have resigned. That's why the guy said, hey, no, we can't go. If you want to go, you go alone. But if we are going together, then you have to stay. That's how they all stayed. So it was just a smoke screen that they made to put powder in the eyes of Cameroonians and make it look as if something serious came out of it. Nothing serious came out of it. And that's what angered the government more. And they decided to take the measures that I was telling you a while ago.
Okay, Simon, very quickly, I know you have to go. It's been a long day for you being a sports editor of Cameroon Radio and TV. Finally, who are the possible candidates to replace Rigobert Song? A small bird did tell me that you've been casting, do I say, eyes at a certain Portuguese manager of a West African country. I'm not going to name names. His contract's also up for renewal as well. Who are the possible candidates to replace Rigobert Song?
I see you talking about Peseiro and
I didn't say Peseiro, you did.
I can read your mind, my good friend. Anyway, I followed an interview today that Samuel Eto'o did with TV5 in France that has just been published today, in which he's saying they're no more going for any local coach, any national. He said they are going to go international. And they asked him, is the international coach, going to come from Africa or from Europe? And he refused to say anything. Now, he has to make a short list of three coaches sent to the presidency of the Republic, and it's the presidency that will decide on who to choose as coach for Cameroon. But I see him already going for France because he was asked if he is looking towards Hervé Renard, and the answer he said, he neither said yes nor no. The answer he gave was, if Hervé Renard is going to be, we are going to see if Hervé Renard is going to be interested in coaching Cameroon, which means that is a possible
the likely
replacement for
candidates,
Rigobert
yes.
Song. Let's just wait and see. It's a drama that's not going to be to last for long, because the team that has been set up, the intergovernmental team, and including the FA that has been set up, has been given right up to the end of March this year to produce a new coach. So it's going to take at most 1 month for that coach to come on.
Okay, Simon Liyonga, mind reader from Cameroon, sports editor of Cameroon Radio and TV. Thank you so much for your time, my friend. I will be keeping a close eye on the drama that is unfolding in Fecafoot. Thank you so much, Simon.
Thanks so much. Just like we keep a close eye this way also on the Peseiro. The moment you guys say you upload him, we are going to unload him.
Thank you very much, Simon. It's an absolute pleasure having you on the show. We'll see you some other time. Bye-bye. So, I know for a fact that left to you, if it was left to you, you'll probably drive Jose Peseiro to Yaoundé yourself. You've made it very clear that you feel his time has come and gone. But the drama in Cameroon, it's incredible. It's almost like Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, after Nigeria, I used to follow the indomitable lions of Cameroon. And the reason is because of the commitment, the hunger, the desire of the players when the likes of Patrick Mboma, Samuel Eto'o,
Jeremy Jitab,
these are players that could literally lay down their lives for the country. And you admired their passion for the country. But the reverse is the case. We watched the indomitable lions at the last Nations Cup.
Some call them the indomitable pussycats.
Yeah, they were no longer lions. So I don't know. Sometimes we need to start adopting the European mentality. When you fail, you resign. I thought Rigobert Song should have resigned because he has failed in flying colors. As an icon of the game, he has won a lot of titles. He's an icon in Cameroon as a legend, but it doesn't translate to success as a coach.
Yeah, you see what, you heard what Simon said. He played 23 matches, won only 6. And all of those 6 matches was against any of the top teams in Africa.
And he, in terms of man management, he also failed in flying colors.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes as a coach...
I'm sure you're talking about his issue with the goalkeeper, Andre Onana.
Exactly. Sometimes as a coach, you must realize that you are not the father of the players. Some of the players have left home at a very young age. So if you are talking about upbringing and foundational issues, you are not their father. The issue, your own, priority is for them to come to training and deliver for you in matches. Try to manage their egos. Try to ensure that they give their best. It's as simple as that. But he has failed. Cameroon is just not a team in Africa. They are superpowers.
Yeah, 5-time African champions.
When they go to the Nations Cup, they want to win.
Of course.
And not just winning. If you're not going to win, at least you get to the semi-final.
But hear what you did hear what Simon Liyonga said. Heavy Renard, big name in African football. He's won the Africa Cup of Nations with Zambia and with Cote d'Ivoire. If Cameroon gets him, should the rest of Africa be afraid?
Sometimes it's not rocket science. We have seen Heavy Renard after his sojourn in Africa. He has coached Saudi Arabia. He has coached the female team of France. Sometimes he will win, sometimes he will not. So, but
maybe he's magic lies in
Africa.
But
the bottom line is that the federation must get things right for the coach to perform optimally.
Okay.
You need to put in place a lot of things, scouting, issues of preparations and all that.
So basically, there are no guarantees that
there are no guarantees. We saw, for me, Tunde, when Cameroon, the indomitable lions were winning, they were purely players who grew up in Cameroon. And but Africans must begin to look at.
But that's the thing all over Africa now, to be honest. A lot of national teams have players from all over the world, especially your Nigerian national team. We'll be talking about Cameroon much more as the show and as the weeks and months continue to progress. But let's move on very quickly. We can now tell you, as a matter of fact, that the Super Falcons of Nigeria will be facing old foes and current African champions, the Banyana of South Africa, for that winner-take-all tie to qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The dates have been revealed for that titanic showdown. The reigning African champions, Banyana, will be hosted by Nigeria in the first leg in April, on the 1st of April, at the MK Abiola International Stadium in Abuja, while the second leg will take eight days later in South Africa, and the winner over those 2 legs will qualify for the 2024 Paris Olympics. It doesn't get any more do or die than this. Nigeria and South Africa, both of them are actually good enough to go to the Olympics and represent Africa well. But as they say, there can be only one.
The rivalry between Nigeria and South Africa is getting to another dimension. You see, I've covered some games outside this country, and I saw firsthand how even South African journalists behaved when we defeated them. It's out of this world. So, the last time at the African Women's Cup of Nations, they defeated us. But since that time, Randy Waldrum has been able to turn around the team. You remember the composition of the team. We had some players, I don't want to mention their name because, in the past they have done well for the country. Maybe they are right now at the twilight of their career, but he has been able to inject fresh blood.
New blood, yes.
I'm particularly impressed by this young player, Deborah Abiodun. Young player. This is the way to go.
Mighty Sparrow, like I like to call
this is the way to go. Young players who
Jennifer Chegini,
they have 10, 15 years to offer the national team. So things are getting better for the Super Falcons. So I still feel that in that game, Nigeria should qualify because it's a stark difference from what happened at the
AFCON, yes.
Yeah.
Nigeria has progressed much greatly since that Africa Cup of Nations where we lost to South Africa. Let's move on very quickly. Still in South Africa, Chief Stanley Nwabali received a chiefly welcome on his return to Chippa United over the last few days. Recall that Stanley Nwabali was hero for Nigeria at the Africa Cup of Nations with his great performances in between the six for Nigeria, ending a long-standing problem in the goalkeeping department. And there'd been talk that some South Africans didn't want him back in South Africa at Chippa United, but all that was put aside. You can see the joyous, rapturous welcome for the hero of the Africa Cup of Nations. Surprisingly, completely at variance with what we were told, that was going to receive a hostile welcome. But how about this? This is how you receive a chief on you.
Yeah, sometimes today you need to have a thick skin. As a footballer of high repute, Stanley Nwabali, has become the #1 goalkeeper. So sometimes you need to accept a lot of criticism.
Yeah.
You need to, be able to withstand. I knew that some of those ranting were just momentary, from the fans. And I like the way he took it in his chin. I like that he's a tough guy. You need to be tough. You need to withstand a lot of pressure. And look at how the Chippa fans have received him. You see, if you do well for the national team, the fact that we didn't win did not even matter. But they reckon that this guy gave his all.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
and he put Chippa United on the map. I think he was the only player from Chippa United in the entire Africa Cup of Nations. And everybody was talking about it.
Absolutely. So the fans had no option than to receive a player that has done well for the national team. And like you said, has put Chippa United in the map. In South Africa, whether you like it or not, the top clubs are
Orlando Pirates, Chiefs, Mamelodi Sundowns.
So Chippa United, Stanley Nwabali has been able to put Chippa United in the global spotlight, and I think they should enjoy the moment, the euphoria of the moment, and I hope Stanley Nwabali would, not do like Francis Uzoho, who for me lowered the standard for himself and move on to the next level.
Yeah, Stanley was actually talking about his stay at Chippa United yesterday, talking about how he would like to stay at the team for another 2 years. But considering if we go by everything that we've been hearing about the likes of Kaizer Chiefs looking at him, North African clubs looking at him, European clubs looking at him, we might see Stanley Nwabali away from South Africa pretty soon, leaving one Nigerian goalkeeper to another Nigerian goalkeeper. I'm sure you remember this name. Maduka Okoye, former goalkeeper for Watford, well, he has declared that he is ready to return to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. After a 3-year hiatus, Okoye last played for Nigeria at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon, and it took some time away from the team following some online backlash from fans who blamed him for Nigeria's 1-0 loss to Tunisia in that tournament. Well, we can tell you, as a matter of fact, that he was actually injured for quite a while, went through recovery, then moved from Championship side Watford to the Italian Serie A, where he's #1 for Udinese. And speaking to the Udinese official website yesterday, he says, "I am very well now. I feel 100%. The national team is an important thing for me, and I want to return as soon as possible. It was bad watching the Africa Cup of Nations from home, but this is football." Oye? Yeah, Stanley Nwabali has a fight on his hands.
Yeah, today, this story, it gives me fun memory because it was our lead story on Sporting Life today, and I like the scenario. I like the fact that Maduka Okoye has rediscovered himself.
Throwing down the gauntlet. I want to fight for Super Eagles #1. Competition is good, isn't it?
It can only get better for the national team because right now we have Maduka Okoye, keeping for Udinese, the first choice for Udinese. He has kept against big teams like Juventus, and he has done well. I think 2 weeks ago he was named in the Serie A Team of the Week. So it's a lot of challenge for Stanley Nwabali.
Do you think Maduka Okoye was unfairly treated by fans who scapegoated him for that loss to Tunisia, considering the fact that there were 11 players on the pitch? One of them got a red card. Don't forget that Alex Iwobi was sent off in that game. There were other players there. None of them could score, but everybody seems to have been blaming the goalkeeper.
So the fact of the matter is that at that level, when you are playing for the national team, I think they should be told that you must be ready to accept everything. I don't like lily livered players. That was why I was worried about the way Alex Iwobi took, the criticism, unfairly though. But you see, sometimes when you are at that level, it's not only about playing on the pitch. You must understand that football is an emotional game. A lot of people have put a bet on the game. A lot of people have staked a lot, emotionally, so much. So you must understand that, and you must develop a thick skin.
Oh yeah, I think
as a footballer.
Personally, I think Maduka Okoye was unfairly targeted because he's such a good-looking fellow, and a lot of Nigerian women were flocking to his Instagram page, oohing and eyeing over him, and a lot of Nigerian men got jealous, and they decided to make him a scapegoat for that. That's what I think.
Okay, Tunde. Okay, let us look at the issue of Stanley Nwabali. He was threatened by South African fans.
Yes.
What happened?
He went back
because this guy is
as a chief.
This guy is a tough guy. This guy is a tough guy. In fact, he said that nobody can stop him from going back to South Africa.
But Maduka is tough as well. I mean, have you seen the tattoos on his arms?
No, forget about the tattoo. Tattoo is not everything. You must show it. You must be seen, to be showing that.
Not only must he be tough,
yes, but to be tough. Fans can throw anything at you. You have seen players, even in the Premier League, players going to challenge the fans. Fans criticizing them, and players telling the fans that you are getting the wrong perception. I explain it to them, and this is the way to go. I like Maduka Okoye, but he must, as a national team player for Nigeria, for Cameroon, for Ghana, you must be tough. You must be tough.
You must be tough.
It's not for lily-livered players.
Well, according to Iwobi, you must be tough in order to play for the Nigeria national team. Speaking about the Nigeria national team, we do have it on good authority that Jose Peseiro is saying that he has received countless offers from different people, national teams, club sides, and that he has basically anyone to choose from. And he revealed this in an interview with goal.com today, saying that at this moment, I repeat, all options remain possible. I received a lot of options and a lot of contacts from national teams and clubs. I would say 5, 6, or 7 without revealing the identity. That's Jose Peseiro. I let them all know that I need to rest, that when my contract expires, I will talk about it and start thinking about other projects and decide my future. For now, I need to take a break, but I listen to the proposals and projects that are offered to me, and I evaluate whether I like it or not. Oye, he's saying that, look, Nigeria, if you like, give me contract. If you like, no, give me contract. There are 5, 6, 7 clubs and national teams who are waiting for my service.
So what is he waiting for? So what is he waiting for? You see, this man just used Nigeria to boost his profile. Because I read a Siyola Fijano's interview. He did not play up to our potentials. We like attacking football. I think that's why some players are injured, because they were overused. We were just playing defensive game. He used it to boost his profile. We would have still won the Nations Cup if we had played attacking football. So I think he should accept some of those offers. Now, yesterday, the Algerian employed Petkovic. So that Algeria is out of it. So which countries is he talking about?
Cameroon.
Well,
it will be interesting if Jose Peseiro does go to Cameroon, because Gernot Rohr is in Benin Republic, which means that 2 former Nigeria coaches will be sandwiching Nigeria in the middle. Nigeria will basically be the meat in the sandwich. We'll take a short break here on Game On. We'll be right back with the rest of the show. Thank you for staying tuned. You're still watching Game On here on News Central Television. Well, in case you've been watching youth football over the last few days or few weeks, you will know that a Nigerian team made history by being the first African team to win the world-famous Viareggio Cup in its 75-year history. Teams like Internazionale Milan, AC Milan, Juventus, Fiorentina, AS Roma have won this prestigious trophy, but no African team has ever won it. We've had African teams participate many times, and this particular edition was very special. 3 out of the 4 semi-finalists were Nigerian teams: Beyond Limits FA, who were eventual winners, Mavlon FC, Ojodu City FC, and Altered Transfiguration from Nigeria all made it to the semi-final, but it was Beyond Limits FA that finally broke that jinx, 75-year jinx, winning the trophy for the first time, the first African team to do it. And that team was led by the young, enterprising, and particularly brilliant Olumide Ajibolade. And he was interviewed after the final, and he had plenty to say about how his team made history.
I feel very, very happy and very proud of myself, of the team, of the work, the academy that we've done in the last couple of years. And you know, it's just a testament of the commitment that we put in youth development, and our president, the investment in youth football, the belief that he has in the project, and that's why we're able to have this success here now. You know, everywhere, but I know that back home is going to be a party, you know, it's going to be a party back in Nigeria, but here we're going to be tranquilo, respect everybody, but we are very...
Coach Olumide Ajibolade. Well, he joins us now all the way from Shagamu, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you, Coach. First and foremost, congratulations, applause from all over Nigeria. I'm having goosebumps because just last year, about this time last year, we met in a studio somewhere. You and your team had just come back from an international tournament in the United States of America. You didn't win, but just a year down the line, you are the first ever winner of the world-famous Viareggio Cup tournament. How does that make you feel?
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me on the show. It is a very good feeling to be world champions at this tournament. But most importantly, it's a very humble feeling and a great privilege to be able to be part of the journey for these players to experience and achieve such success at a very young age. And personally, for me, I think that it's a privilege for me to be able to be the coach of such a great academy.
Well, Coach, congratulations. My question is, the fact that handling young lads is very difficult because you are literally going to teach them the basic of football. You know, what does it take? Because this is the future of football, the future of sports. What does it take? How have you been able to cope with these players? You know, some of them are coming from different backgrounds. You know, some have not left home, you know, in the first place. And how do you manage their idiosyncrasies? How do you manage their shortcomings apart from their abilities on the pitch?
It's a very good question because grassroots football and coaching young players is it's a bit of a challenge as it is, because most times we come with the idea that a coach must have a philosophy or a game model or how to, you know, to prepare the sessions or prepare the players. But like you rightly said, these players have unique qualities and individual differences. And the difficult part is to ensure that we can create the environment that is specific to each player or to each attribute of the player, so that we can enhance the qualities that each player possesses. And that's very difficult because you might have 30, 40 players in an academy. So how do you create customized sessions or, you know, an environment that can ensure that each player is going at his own pace, because they will not develop at the same pace. So this is the challenge, but we put in a lot of effort to prepare. I personally have to go across the world to garner enough experience, to get enough knowledge, to read wide, to ensure that, you know, I'm not stuck in a loop and just think that, you know, we're local champions and stuff. We just have to, continue to get the knowledge that we can use to improve the work that we're doing. And so this has been the approach. We continually improve the quality of the coaching education. And that way we are able to give quality coaching and guidance to the players.
Well, Coach, I mean, you must be absolutely proud. Some of your products are already moving beyond limits, moving beyond borders. We do know that one of your players, Ebenezer Akisamiro, is at Internazionale Milan. He was in action over the weekend. You must feel incredibly proud. Another one now just joined Valerenga as well. How does this make you feel, seeing some of these kids that you are seeing day in, day out make the huge leap into professional, top flight international football in Europe?
Yeah, I say this to my colleagues and my friends that are in grassroots coaching, and I say, look, for us, it's not the medals are not the trophies, and the podium finishes are not necessarily our measure of success. The measure of success are the players that are able to leave the grassroots level and become professionals, players that are able to use football to help their families, players that are able to get out of the trenches, fight poverty, with the weapon of football. And these are the wins, these are the trophies. And it's not necessarily the gold medals, because these ones will fade. Next year, there's another Barreggio. What if we win the Barreggio and all the players that play do not succeed? What if they have to now drop out and go to do other things? So the real success of the academy is the lives that we're changing and the lives that are able to take a different direction from the work that we're doing via football. And so it's very important that we always focus not just on the results, but on the process, so that the players can continually be able to compete at a level where they can make success with football.
Personally, I think that's an excellent answer. But Coach, a lot of people have been looking at the success of Beyond Limits. Year in, year out, they are either off to this tournament, winning this tournament. Now you've broken a 75-year jinx by being the first African team to win the Viareggio tournament. And some people are asking that, looking at the national youth teams, the under-20, under-17, that maybe this is where we should be looking at in terms of not only the players for these teams, but even the coaching, that coaches like you are, academy coaches, grassroots coaches, who are better suited to coaching younger athletes instead of coaches who coach professional football. What do you say to this?
Well, for me, if you ask me personally, would I be interested in coaching the national team? I absolutely.
Okay, I'm asking you. Would you be interested in coaching the under-17 or under-20 national team?
Look, I'm Nigerian. I'm absolutely passionate about Nigeria. I've had my coaching education across Europe, and I'm always back in Nigeria because Nigeria has a special place in my heart, because there is no other place I can call home. So for sure, I'm always available to give my best to serve my country in whatever capacity to ensure that we win this battle. And when I say it's a battle, it's important that the image, that Nigeria has globally is not just an image of, what it is. We must continually put the best foot forward to give an image of excellence in everything that we do. So if I can contribute to that in football, why not? I'm always available for that.
Well, Coach Olumide Ajibolade, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Congratulations once again. It's not easy winning an international tournament of the repute of the Viareggio tournament. And I hope that the national team handlers are listening, that you've definitely put your hat in the ring, that you'll be more than happy to coach any of the under-17 or under-20 men's national teams. Once again, congratulations, and thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Wow. I'm sure that there are very few articulate, brilliant, talented young men like this coach here. And somebody will be saying that maybe a certain coach in a Midwestern state, I'm not mentioning anyone, it could be Delta State, it could be Edo State, that a certain coach who has a penchant for, do I say, interesting post-match press conferences should take a cue from Coach Olumide Ajibolade. I didn't mention names, and I
know who you are talking about.
Would it be better insurance? No, I'm just saying.
Well, I know who you're talking about. I will not allow you to pigeonhole me. But this coach is brilliant. I mean, he's, I was particularly swept, off my feet by his analysis, his in-depth knowledge of youth football. It's not easy. It's not easy because at the professional level, you don't teach players the basics. You know how to trap the ball, how to make a pass. How to run into space. You just manage the situation, but at that level it's difficult. And there are very few coaches who have the patience, the temperament, the ability, and much more importantly, he's articulate. He's brilliant. He has gathered enough knowledge around the world. And these are the kind of coaches that the Football Federation should
be looking at. I like the fact that he's articulate. Even as you and I was sitting, I was learning a lot from him. So imagine if he's speaking to his players. It'll be very easy for him to pass his message across. So congratulations once again to Beyond Limits FA, who are the football academy of Remo Stars Football Club of the NPFL. We must state that they are doing remarkable things. They have become the first African team to win the Viareggio Cup in its 75-year history. Congratulations to them and to him especially once again. Speaking of Nigerian football, matches were played today in the NPFL. Let's quickly give you the results from games played today. One man was in the thick of the action, 43-year-old captain of Kano Pillars, the legendary, the ageless Rabiu Ali. He was in action, but he could not save the Pillars, Seme Sugida, from going down 3-2 away to Katsina United. Sporting Lagos, a team who are fighting the relegation battles, they got a good result today. They defeated Aqua United by 2-1. Heartland lost, but yes, your eyes are not paying you. Only look up. Heartland were plastered 5-1 at home by Plateau United. Fantastic result for Plateau United on the road. Enugu Rangers defeated Remo Stars 1-0. Bayelsa United also overcame Doma United 2-0, while Sunshine Stars and defeated Lobby Stars 2-0 in the Battle of the Stars. Let's quickly take a look at how this affects the table, showing you the top 6 teams in the NPFL now, and also we'll be looking at the bottom 6 teams as well. You can be sure that the table has changed a little. There you go. It's Lobby Stars still on top, followed by Plateau United, courtesy of that 5-1 away win, and followed by Enugu Rangers and Remo Stars. At the bottom of the table is Heartland, unsurprisingly, propping up the rest of the table, followed by Gombe United, Aqua United, and Niger Tornadoes. So Heartland is not looking good for them. I think they're the architect of their own troubles.
Today, I really don't know what to say. Yesterday, I read a story where the coach, Christian Obi, and the general manager, Promise Wanchuku, called for a peace meeting, asking those people that have offended them and the ones that they have offended to forgive them and come to this match. This match was actually played in Oka. They no longer play their home matches in Owerri. No. They played in Oka, that they should come and support. So I thought there could be a new lease of life, but
apparently
the trashing is quite. It's quite monumental.
It's fundamental.
So what? I really don't know how they're going to escape really.
I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how they're going to.
Because they didn't put their house in order. They hired Kennedy Bolboy. I told you about the story.
Yeah.
He was not allowed to even operate for 1 month before he was asked to leave. And they brought in Christian Obi.
These are the issues. These are the issues. And still speaking about the NPFL, we do know that Erasmus Onu, legendary Erasmus Onu, the coach of I think Abia Warriors.
Abia Warriors.
Yes, he's been suspended because of the team's poor performances. And Bethel Orji has been asked to take interim charge.
But I don't understand this decision because I saw footages of players of Abia Warriors stranded somewhere in Jakarta.
We'll talk about that some other time, but we really have to move on. Well, matches were played in the English FA Cup yesterday. Let's quickly show you those results. Bournemouth lost 1-0 at home to Leicester City, courtesy of a fantastic goal by a certain Ghanaian who was named man of the match in that particular game. Blackburn United and Newcastle United played out a 1-1 draw, while Luton Town and Manchester City played an 8-goal thriller. Manchester City winning that game by 6-2. Erling Haaland brought Haaland scoring 5 goals in that game. There are matches currently going on today as well. Liverpool entertaining Southampton. I believe we can quickly show you the fixtures, but that's Erling Haaland doing what he does best. The man, the machine, plundering 5 goals. I wonder if he had scored 2 hat-tricks, would they have given him 2 balls or just 1? I don't know, but that's the question we're trying to answer. Well, let's quickly give you the fixtures of matches currently going on now. If you have those results, some games are currently going on. I think my producer can't get us that one. But Chelsea are currently facing Leeds. Nottingham Forest also taking on Manchester United. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brighton, and Liverpool versus Southampton. There, the results on your screen. Chelsea 2-1 over Leeds United. Nottingham Forest and Manchester United's goalless. And Wolves are leading Brighton, while Liverpool are also leading Southampton. Liverpool severely depleted because of injuries, but they are doing the business. Well, thank you so much for joining us on a very entertaining evening here on Game On. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. We had some really great guests. And thank you very much, Chuku, Always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Always a pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah, but before we go, let's tell you that Super Eagles and Napoli striker Victor Osimhen has reportedly sent 2.5 million naira to a little Nigerian boy who was pictured posting a video of himself wearing a mask just like Osimhen and swaggering with his jersey and name and number behind it. Well, the video was shared by a popular blogger and it caught Osimhen's attention, and the football star asked for help to find the young lad, and so a manhunt began. Believe it or not, this lad was not in Nigeria, but he's in Cote d'Ivoire. He's a Nigerian lad living in Cote d'Ivoire. That's his family, thanking Victor Osimhen, expressing gratitude for the monetary gift. We hear it's like 2.5 million naira, but it's, I don't know how, we can't confirm that, but what a gesture by Victor Osimhen. There's little Osimhen as well, marching on to war. Well, that's a really heartwarming story. But thank you once again for watching Game 1. It's been fun. It's been entertaining. We'll see you sometime tomorrow. Bye-bye.